Hello viewers, I'm Simon Preston and this is Reggae Boys Commentary. Now in this video we're going to highlight an issue that has been talked about for quite some time in the Caribbean region. An issue that has been raised by a number of experts as well as CARICOM nations and head executives about the forming of a West Indies football team. Can this work? What are your thoughts, Reggae Boys fans? Are you in approval of something like this? My simple answer to this is no. We've seen success from the West Indies male and female team. Congratulations to them on getting the quadruple. Can you imagine if we had been in the top 8 in the world in ODI cricket? We would have gone for the quadruple in the ICC Champions Trophy next year. Well, you know, one of those things. They've certainly represented the region proud. But there is, for an example, there is no Guyanese player part of that 15-man squad. And Guyanese officials and members are questioning that. So imagine a West Indies football team that is mainly filled up with the likes of Jamaicans and Trinidadian players. Can you imagine how the rest of the Caribbean would react at this? It's fair to say that they would have that similar amount of volume in sort of responses from that. I'm going to read out the best 11 from the Caribbean Cup that was last held in 2014 in Jamaica, and just listen to the names that you hear so far. Just to let you know, in that list there were 6 Jamaicans. 6 Jamaicans in an 11-man squad. 2 Trinis, 2 Haitians and a Cuban. You had Andre Blake in goal, a central defender Jermaine Taylor, right defender Alvas Powell, left midfielder Joby McAnuff, central midfielder Rudolph Austin, and bizarrely they had Darren Mattocks as a right midfielder in that list. Up front you had Kevin Molina of Trinidad and Kervens Belfort of Haiti. The sole Cuban in this list was Yanier Marquez in that list. And the other 2 non-Jamaicans in that list were Kim Jaggi as a defender for Haiti and Daniel Cyrus, a central defender from Trinidad and Tobago. We've seen both Jamaica and Trinidad and Tobago dominate the Caribbean Cup, where Trinidad has won 8 titles, Jamaica 6, Cuba's won 1 title in 2012, Haiti won 1 in 2007, and Martinique won a Caribbean Cup title in 1993. How are you going to select the talent to make up a West Indies football team? Are you going to have a similar method that you had with the cricket team, where countries like the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, the British Virgin Islands and Turks and Caicos, who are British overseas territories, won't be eligible for selection in this squad? Is it going to be like that, where they still have their own respective teams and the rest of the world competes? Is it going to be that you're only going to have English-speaking Caribbean countries to form a West Indies football team? Or are you going to include the Spanish and the French West Indies? And the Dutch, you could say as well. Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, Saba, Saint Eustatius, Suriname. It is quite a lot to consider to forming of a West Indies football team. Although you could say, from a concept point of view and thinking about how CONCACAF would be, you could see improvements in terms of the talent induced into a squad and a more competitive bunch of players. Is it something that we want? That's another issue. I'm a Jamaican first before I'm a West Indian. From my point of view, I'm happy for country v country. I think that's what you need when it's a World Cup time and things like that. That is what you need. There's been talk about that as well, and just weighing out the idea and maybe some political involvement in there as well. Is there going to be a quota to say, okay, this much Jamaican players should be in the list, this much Trinidadian players, a Cuban player has to at least make the bench? It's going to be very interesting to see how they would work that out if it was ever planned to be put on the table. We know countries like Martinique, Guadeloupe, French Guiana, they're departments of France. So what that means is that if France sees talent from those countries that they find effective, France can just take them off just like that. What's going to happen then? Suppose there is a player from French Guiana, for an example, that plays for the West Indies football team. Can the France national team just pick him up like that? Who knows? There was a player who represented the then at the time, Netherlands Antilles called Vernon Anita, who is the Newcastle player. And the Dutch picked him up, just like that. Look at that. It's a very, very interesting sort of idea that could be put on the table. What are your thoughts, Reggae Boys fans? Would you like to see a West Indies football team? What will be the nickname of this West Indies football team? What will be the identity of this team? Who will be the head coach? What are the sorts of players that will be around it? What would be the home stadium? Is it that every qualifier you would have it in Jamaica, then Trinidad, then Haiti, then Cuba? It is a lot to examine. I'm Simon Preston for Reggae Boys Commentary, and don't forget to subscribe.